million stories in the naked city. And chances are you can only keep up with a fraction of them during your hectic day. Give us a few minutes then to bring you up to speed on what New Yorkers are talking about. This is The Debrief. Stay with us on The Debrief. We're going to talk about the techie ways to meet a match. Welcome back, everybody. Dating in the 21st century, dating in New York City. Need I say more? Two of the great challenges of our time, so I'm told. Stephanie Rosenblum from the New York Times recently wrote an interesting article about how people are turning to technology now in an even different way to try and meet. Stephanie, you open up your article with a woman who's sitting in the meatpacking district or walking through, and she sees this young man. Yes. What does she do next?
She sees him and she removes a diminutive black card from her hand and nestles it in his French fries, which, you know, normally is not the way to
not usually
win over a man. But and she continued walking. She didn't stop. And on the card, it, you know, had a flirty little comment and a link to a website and a code.
Now, we have said cards, I believe. Chris, let's go. Oh, stagehand. Thank you, Chris.
Yes.
Happily married, so you don't need the cards. Thank you. So here's the card. All right.
Yeah, so this is the kind of card that she gave. And on the back, they all say different things.
I don't know if we'll be able to pick it up there, Tom Cook, but tell us, how is it different from just simply something, a note with your number on it? Tell us about how this works.
There's an issue of privacy. You know, some people don't want a stranger to know where they work, what their personal phone number is, you know, and it sort of, you know, creates a barrier.
Okay, so this says this card could change your life. All right, pretty forward. It has a number here. There are other social websites, dating websites. Is this different from them, the ones that we've heard of before?
Yes, like, for instance, you know, the traditional sites are Match.com, JDate, eHarmony. These sites enable to kind of flip dating on its head. You basically see the person in real life first, and then you connect online, whereas on the other sites, you are looking at photos online. Sometimes there's some false advertising. This, you know, you see the person, you know what you're getting.
And you talk to people, you talk to women. How did they think this helped them in today's day and age?
Especially for women who are shy. A lot of them felt that this was a way to not have to go up and, you know, strike up a conversation that was particularly long. They could kind of almost bomb them with the card and run away, if that's what they chose, you know.
Well, one of the cards said, I'm better than the date you're currently on.
Right.
I thought that was a little, you know, I don't know.
It's a little bold, but men use these too. They're not just for women, so, you know,
really?
it's for both sexes, whoever wants to use it, you know.
And what did you hear from men? Same thing?
Men,
shy?
not necessarily shy, but one guy said it was an icebreaker.
Okay.
It's a little easier than just sort of walking up and saying hello.
All right, so this is an example. What is it? Cheeked?
Cheeked is one of the cards.
And now you have another one
and
there,
then there's another new company called Flip Me, which is doing the same thing, same idea.
I don't know if I can get that for you guys. Yeah. Now, how does this same thing?
It works the same way. The difference is Cheeked, there's a different sort of flirty comment on each one, whereas Flip Me, it says the same thing on all of the cards, and it's a little. These can be a little more aggressive in terms of some of the jokes that they make.
Okay. Stephanie, what does it say about dating today and how it's different? I mean, you know, it seems like in this age of communication, we don't do the old-fashioned thing of having to go up and meet someone in court.
Well, in some ways, these sites are arguing that they're a little more old-fashioned than something like Match.com, where, you know, these folks are able to see someone in person, have an in-person interaction, and then, you know, see if you want to email, get to know each other a little bit more, whereas the other sites, everything's online first.
All right. So your article, you did use a couple examples, if I recall, where it did kind of work or they did meet.
Yes, yeah.
Tell me about one of those.
Well, for instance, there was one woman who was at the Soho Grand at a party, and she saw a gentleman across the room, and she was very interested, and she, you know, wanted to give him a card, but she was feeling shy. He was with a group of friends. She didn't want to cross the room. She gave the card to a friend, had her friend walk over and deliver it, and the next morning she woke up and in her inbox, for the, you know, these sites all linked to a website, and on the website was a message from him saying, my only regret from last night was that you didn't come up in person.
Wow, that is kind of nice.
So it's kind of nice. So they're emailing and...
Did your article mention an app?
Yes, and there are apps, too, that do this. One is called Scout. It's a popular one. They've just surpassed 1 million members right now, and it works with the global positioning system on your cell phone. So basically, you have your phone, and all the members in the area, you can go on the site and see who's around you, let's say within a 10-block radius.
Really?
And then you can instant message with somebody. I walk over. A girl told me she did it with her friend. They were in Central Park in Sheep Meadow. Instant message with some guys. The guys joined them on their picnic blanket, and they had an afternoon together.
So you're all a member of this, and you say, hey, we're out, you're out?
We're out, you're out, yes. And it shows you who's in the area. It doesn't pinpoint exactly where you are for safety reasons, but you're within a radius.
So tracking like dating, huh?
Yeah.
Like Jack Bauer, okay. Of course, I'll tell you, after you get married, that GPS works in a different way. Oh, I know where you are. No, I'm just kidding. Stephanie Rosenblum, interesting article. Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure.
All right, we'll be right back on the debrief with Alice Tan Ridley from America's Got Talent.